We are live with the Joshua Report True World News. The Joshua Report with teacher Joshua James. We bring you this important message live. Humanity is under great attack like never before. An international attack on humanity. As you saw in the title for today's live program, China. A communist world war. That is what we are discussing today. Communism. A communist world war that is taking place around the world. We are going to be discussing this today live on the Joshua Report. Please like, share, and comment. Get these important news articles out with your friends and family. This is a live broadcast coming to you with true world news. China, communist world war. Humanity is under attack, and because many people have no idea about history, they are going to fall into communism, into worshiping the government, but that will lead to the destruction of humanity. Communism is the enemy of humanity, and specifically the enemy of Christianity. We are Bible-believing Christians, and we are bringing you live world news from a Christian perspective. Let's look today at communism, China, the communist world war that is coming to this world. So let's look at some very interesting news. A second lockdown. So a second lockdown is coming. The second wave of the corona COVID deception is coming to bring in communism. They are going to collapse the financial markets, the economy, destroy small business, and then bring in communism. And it is amazing how quickly the world and people can fall into communism. So we're looking at the second lockdown already taking place in Australia, in Israel, in France, and going all over the world, a second lockdown. And this second lockdown will be very, very serious and very severe to the economy. So let's look now at what is happening. As I've said many times, I believe we are in a build-up to war with China. There is a coming war with China. There is going to be a very corrupt, wicked government that takes over the world. I would like to bring a Bible verse to you. A Bible verse to you. In Proverbs chapter 29, so we have wisdom. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2 in the King James Bible. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So we see there is a righteous government and there is a wicked government. We are now in the time of the wicked government. And I am a student of history. As we've been studying history, there was time periods in places like Europe, in the United States, in Canada, where there was great peace and prosperity and success in these Israelite nations as God blessed them with Bibles and schools and safety, just leaving your front door open. But those times are changing, and now we are coming into the times of the wicked government, where soon your governments will be telling you to just welcome pedophiles and, into your homes and wear a face mask when you're sleeping. It's good for you. This is that wicked government that is coming. So I would like to read some news headlines, but that's a great verse. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2 in the King James Bible. We'll read it again shortly. So we see a second lockdown. Okay, so what is lockdown? That is to destroy the economy, to weaken the nations, to bring in communism. China is waging war with the United States right now. All the other countries, France, Australia, Canada, they are in agreement with China. They are submitting to China. But see, the United States still has a fight. The home of the brave. The United States still has a fight in them, and they are fighting against China. And this is the whole communist. This is the whole agenda that's coming, okay? They are trying to destroy the United States, which is, or at least once was, the great nation of prosperity and Christian people, that last Israelite kingdom that was blessed and prosperous. Now there's nowhere to run. Where are you going to run? Iceland or fake Antarctica or all these places? Where are you going to go? There is nowhere to go. The United States was the last frontier, and when the United States falls, all the world falls. All the Christian countries, all the prosperity, all the safety, all the blessings. When the United States fall, all the countries fall, and it's very likely we could come into the end times because there's nowhere else to run. The United States was a prosperous, blessed nation, and now it's turning into anarchy and chaos as the beast army is rising like brute beasts on the streets. Get ready, it's coming. So we're coming into a lockdown, the second lockdown, all right? Now, let's continue. I need you to like, share, and comment. This is a live news broadcast. The Joshua Report with teacher Joshua James. We need your help and support. Get these messages out to your friends and family. All right, so we're looking at China. Communist World War. I would like to bring to your attention a man named Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong. M-A-O-Z-E-D-O-N-G. Mao Zedong, as some people say. 1893 to 1976. So Mao Zedong, 1893 to 1976. He is, they say, the greatest mass murderer in history. He is responsible on record for 20 to 46 million deaths. 20 million to 46 million deaths, and he killed the people by famine. By famine. So what is famine? This is where the communist regime cuts off the food supply. It doesn't mean there's no food. We know that God provides food for people, but people cut the food supply. They cut it off, so they intentionally don't deliver food and water to the people, and many people die. That is famine. It's not necessarily no food or water. It's when the corrupt, wicked government intentionally cuts food and water supplies and people die of hunger and thirst. That is famine. The communists cut off the food supply, and we are already seeing that happening in the world. It happened in Moscow, Synagogue of Satan. It happened in Berlin, Synagogue of Satan. And now it is coming to the United States of America. The same people group is going to collapse the United States of America, and they're going to use the beast to do it. They're going to bring in a people group that are very wicked, to bring in anarchy, to destroy the United States. And when the United States falls, the world falls with it. They bring in a new system, a new order, a new financial system. They bring in a world communist system, and they collapse the financial economy, and they enslave humanity. It is very simple. It's happened many times. It's going to happen again on a world scale. Hear my words. I want to bring you some world news. World war with China is coming. China, world's largest navy. The Chinese army is surpassing the scale of the United States Army. Very scary. China deploys armored vehicles to Europe. Europe faces security threats from Chinese military. China starts to work with France and Germany. So China is now coming to help France and Germany. When the communists come to help you, it's too late. You're in big, big trouble. China starts to work with France and Germany. So China's telling France and Germany, no, I'm going to help you. Don't work with the United States. What China is doing is breaking the relationships of those European nations, including Canada, US, Australia. They're making those countries fight against each other. An example would be the border between Canada and the United States. The land border is closed and has been for many months. This is a great shame. It is treason. Your governments are guilty of treason. They are intentionally destroying their own countries and bringing in foreign people to invade and destroy the culture, the economy, and soon to enslave you. It's coming. Hear my words. These messages will go down in history. A lot of people will say, no, this will never happen. In 3 months, it'll be happening, or in 6 months, or 1 year, or it's already happening now. Telling them, oh, just invite the pedophiles into your house. They're people too. LGBTP. Just add a P on there for pedophile and welcome them and show them respect. Yeah. Right. Let them babysit your children. That's what they're going to soon be telling you. Justin Trudeau, Justin Treason, the king of Sodom, and all these other wicked people. Okay, listen to this. China delivers armed drones. So they're sending all this military technology all over the world. They're colonizing the world right now. Listen to this. There is more Chinese born speaking in Australia than English born speaking. They're going to replace the culture in Australia and New Zealand. It's already finished for those countries. Their governments are guilty of treason. China, and if you know what the penalty for treason is, you should look it up, what it was, and that's what they deserve. China invasion of Australia and New Zealand. Right now, China is invading New Zealand and Australia. Also, Canada, Europe. This is what the COVID corona is. It is a Chinese military invasion of the world. They are trying to take down the United States. When the United States falls, all of the prosperous Christian countries will fall with it because they already are fallen. Chinese military creating vaccines for the Western countries. So the Chinese military is creating vaccines for countries like Canada, places in Europe where you couldn't make this up in a science fiction movie. The Chinese government, the communist country of China, from Mao Zedong to their leaders now that are killing millions of people. And there's many ways you can say Zedong, however you want to say. You can just call him Dung. How about that? Dung, Mao Dung. Mao Poop. That's who he is. Because he's pooping the ground and he's in hell. That's where he is. Okay, so understand this. That there is a communist world takeover that is happening now in the world. China taking vaccines. China, the Communist Party of China, who's killing all their own citizens, they're gonna make the vaccines for Canada. The once prosperous country of Canada is now working with the corrupt, evil, reprobate nation of communist China. The Chinese military making 5G radiation poisoning for everybody to kill them. Okay, so again, famine is coming. Military takeovers are coming, and I'm going to explain to you right now how they're going to do this. But before that, I would like to read you a verse in the King James Bible. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, so when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. There is a righteous government, and there is a wicked government. And in time past, there was a very upright government, and people were safe, and Bibles and schools. But I'm telling you, communism is coming all over the world. It is the enemy of humanity. The synagogue of Satan is behind it, and they're going to use the brute beasts to bring in anarchy. Hear my words. They've done it many, many times. All right, so we're going to look now at how they're going to do it. They're teaming up with the Chinese. Hear my words. All the way from Tel Aviv to Beijing. All right, so let's look at this with a stop in London and New York in the middle. All right, so let's look at this. So what they're going to do is they're going to load countries with Chinese people. Now, I want to say this. I know there's proper, upright Chinese people who believe the Bible, who love God, who are willing to be part of that upright, proper, Bible-believing culture. I'm not speaking about them, okay? I'm speaking to the system of the Communist Party of China. That's who I'm talking about, and all their operatives. So listen to this. What they're going to do is they're going to load countries with Chinese people. This is the first thing they have to do. They have to colonize. So the Communist Party of China, who by the way has just taken over Hong Kong, they are going to load countries with Chinese people. They're going to use a Trojan horse that these are Hong Kong refugees. They're all going to be from Hong Kong. Oh, she's from Hong Kong. An example would be the creature that calls itself a human that is in the Canadian Public Health Leader. Okay? Yeah, they're from Hong Kong, and maybe they are. Doesn't matter. They're communists. Okay? They snuck in. So understand this, that they are the Communist Party of China has been doing this for a long time. Go to Vancouver, British Columbia. Go to Australia, these places. They're gonna load countries with Chinese people. Then what they're going to say is they need to establish a military presence in that country because there's so many Chinese people. There's millions of Chinese people living in all these countries. They're going to say we need to establish a military presence, Chinese military presence in those countries because there's so many Chinese people. Okay? Then what they're going to do is they're going to start sending in communist Chinese military troops into Canada, into the United States, into Australia, into Europe, and they're going to start establishing military camps and presence inside the countries, and the Chinese Communist government is going to have the Chinese military in all these countries. Meanwhile, they're running their borders, running their hospitals, running their medical systems, running their airports, their banks, all their security technologies is going to be run by the Chinese. They start sending the Chinese troops into the countries, and next thing, they are invaded by the Chinese, and all the Western governments, Justin Trudeau, and all of these operatives for the government are guilty of treason because they're bringing them into the country to invade the country. It's very, very obvious. It's very simple. Recently, I've been to Australia, Canada, all of these places in Europe, and I'm telling you, there is Chinese people working the international borders in Australia, in Canada. They're taking over their airports, their ports. It's happening. You need to get ready. War with China is already happening, and your governments are guilty of treason because they sold you out to foreign nations. This is the Joshua Report. There is a very wicked world government that is forming right now. And when the righteous are in power, we rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, we mourn. And there is a very wicked, corrupt government that is forming right now. You need to be aware of what is happening. The best thing you can do is read your Bible. It's better than gold or silver. The best thing you can do for yourself, your families, is to read the Bible. Genesis to Revelation, to believe the Bible. We are Christians. We believe the Bible is true. And I really encourage you and your families to really start reading your Bibles together. Start today. Read the book of Luke. It's a great thing to read with your friends, your families. Read the book of Luke in the King James Bible, chapter 1 to 24. Read that. We believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, that He rose from the dead, and we believe that Jesus Christ is alive, that He is returning, and there is an Armageddon war that is coming, and all these evil perverts and communists and all these people, they will be destroyed in that Armageddon war. But until then, it is going to be great tribulation coming to this earth. This is the Joshua Report. You need to wake up. You need to understand humanity is under attack. Please like, share, and comment. Also, we need your help and support. Download this video and you upload it to the internet. We also need your help and support financially. This is viewer funded. Please go to www.teacherjoshuajames.com and you can donate there and you can help as we advance the truth and wake people up. This is the Joshua Report, True World News, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday. Please like, share, and comment. Jesus Christ is Lord.